At CDW, we get speed as the new currency of success.
Our team spends way too much time tending to outdated applications and software when they should be focused on driving application agility and innovation.
CDW Amplify Development Services modernizes software and application development to help accelerate innovation and digital transformation.
So you mean building new applications, UI, and mobile interfaces?
Well, you said you needed to innovate more quickly.
Oh, so he's a listener.
To do more at scale, trust CDW Amplify Development Services.
Majesty is a premium health and wellness tea line focused on bringing delicious yet healthy tea blends to the community. Filled with an abundance of vitamins and antioxidants, we work to blend teas with exotic spices and fruits to produce scrumptious and wholesome beverages. So check us out at mymajesties.com. That's MyMajesties.com. My Majesties, an Urban Passport member.
Some carriers will give you just one measly entertainment subscription. One is no fun. With Verizon, there's up to 7 entertainment subscriptions with your unlimited plan. That's 7 times the... 7 times the... No! 7 times the... Music, gaming, Disney Plus, Hulu, ESPN Plus, and more. That's 7 times the entertainment! Because everyone deserves better. And with plans starting at just $35, better costs less than you think.
Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties. Through its programs, Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens, and parenting education coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and instagram.com/empowermentjax.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
Supermarket sushi, really?
No. Wait, Troy, you work here?
I'm never not working. Like Head & Shoulders Scalp Shield technology, up to 100% dandruff protection, even between washes.
Never not working, huh?
Oh, Troy, you're such a good teacher.
Yeah, I know. Never not working. Never not working. Never ever not working.
Are you serious?
Never not working. Dandruff protection that's never not working. Head & Shoulders Scalp Shield technology.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. Let 211 be your guiding light for mental health and other resources. Call 211 or visit 211.org.
It's been difficult because I hadn't been able to see my grandchildren.
An expression on someone's face when you do something nice for them.
I miss all my friends in school.
Visit getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision about COVID-19 vaccine.
For 200 years, Montgomery, Alabama has been making history by people who had the courage to stand up for change. Today, this riverfront city has been reborn, embracing the past and looking forward to the future. From the National Memorial for Peace and Justice to the stage of the Alabama Shakespeare Festival, this is where history was and is made. We are proud to call Montgomery home, and together, we can be the change.
What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? You know what's crazy? Like, I'm sitting in this little space because I ain't in my office because I got some other stuff going on. I got 3 ink pens, and I just keep throwing them away. And I'm sitting down, so it ain't like I can throw them far, but I just keep losing them. But anyway, that's the life of senility setting in. All right, today is the 22nd of March, 2023. And we're gonna have a pretty decent show today, if I say so myself. I got one of my partners on here. I've been trying to get him on the show for like 3-4 years, so we finally got it together. But during this monologue, this is what I want to talk about. You know, most of y'all who watch the show, y'all are over 20. Most of y'all over 30. We have got to be more politically astute. We have got to learn the game of politics. We have got to learn. And with that learning process, don't just let people tell you shit and we keep going for it. We have got to start reading and investigating what people call facts, the things that they regurgitate that there is no proof for. I was on a couple of debates the past few days, and people want to tell me about things that are factual. And when I ask them where are the stats to prove this, they were like, "Oh, you was a cop, you do this, you can find it." Well, I can't find it. I've looked it up, but you keep spitting it out like it's fact. And I hate when people tell me to find something that they're saying that I know is false, because I can't find it, but they can't share it. So if you can't share something that you're saying is factual, stop saying it. Or stop getting pissed when people ask you for the proof. I mean, even if you got it from a bum website, that's your proof. But if you're just regurgitating bad information, challenged on it, go to the stamp line. Oh, I don't know this, I heard. And just say that. And then don't call nobody else a sheep, because you are repeating things that you heard that you don't know if they're factual. You just like them. You just like them, so you repeat them. And I guess if you say it enough times, somebody's supposed to believe it. And that's true, but that somebody is just you. Ain't nobody else going for this dumb shit that you're trying to preach. It's dumb shit. And we're looking at politics, which is where I started, which is what I'm going to stay focused on. There's a lot of things going on in politics, and everybody keeps saying, pay attention, don't do this, don't do that. Are y'all paying attention? Especially to my people of color. Are y'all paying attention? Yeah, the Democrats doing some crazy shit, but the Republicans are doing some elimination shit. See, sometimes Democrats don't do the right thing, but Republicans don't want black votes to count. Republicans only want blacks to have one representative at best. But if you're noticing what redistricting is, what redlining is, what all this is, they're splitting us up and putting black communities in white neighborhoods. I'm sorry, black neighborhoods and white communities. They will break up a whole little section that is predominantly black into 5 or 6 sections just to put them with a white neighborhood so that we cannot have black representation. While y'all complaining about transgenders getting rights, while y'all complaining about the gas prices going up, while y'all complaining about the federal government not fixing your street, none of this is their job. But see, if you don't know any better, you fall into that same argument. I had several people keep complaining to me about their streets. Oh, Biden's sending all this money to Ukraine, but we got homeless people up the street. Well, see, that's what you have a mayor, city councilman, and governors for. But see, and the crazy thing is, you don't ever require them to do their job. You run straight to the president, not knowing his job is not your city, not your road, not your state. See, y'all like criminal mind. First thing you always hear them say is they can't go nowhere unless they're invited. The feds can't come in without being invited. It's the same thing with federal aid. If your governor doesn't request money from the president, he's not gonna get it. And it's really not even from the president. They asked for it from the federal government, which is where if you look at the little bum dude from Texas, I can't forget his name, the one who went out of town when there was a snowstorm and Texas didn't have no heat, but he just happened to go to a warm place because his daughters wanted to leave town. It just so happened to coincide with it. He's turned down. He has voted against other states getting aid. But when it's time for him to get aid, even though they don't want to be part of the United States, this is what they do. Now, your GOP wants to regulate the judicial system. If they don't like what a prosecutor is doing, they want to be able to remove a duly an elected official from their position if they don't like it. They were already trying to control the electoral college based on what they wanted. This is what the GOP does. While everybody tells you how great they are and that Dems don't do nothing and Dems, maybe they don't do enough, but they ain't never just shut out just a straight hit you with the no Vaseline tip. They ain't never done that. So all I'm saying is pay attention. If you got questions, ask. I can tell you, look at some of the bills that are being passed. Look at how they will affect black people. Look at how they affect black people. Look at how they affect people of color. Look at how they affect anybody who is about to take over the historical majority. Because white people are slowly dwindling out. And everything they get, they try to take care of in advance. So yeah, stay woke. If you got a third eye, get you a real job where you can get your insurance to take care of that. With having a third eye. We break. We're gonna come back with my partner, David Price, a fellow vet, another crazy individual with his own mindset. And we're gonna talk about men becoming men in the traditional sense and mentors in the traditional sense. None of this crazy king shit and everybody gotta follow me and do what I say. But you know, I'm gonna let him talk for himself. Because that's my dude. And he's a great photographer. So we'll be right back, and you know how I feel about Love Connection, 2 minutes and 2 seconds. Y'all know what it is. Random Thoughts of DVP.
Can I get the now bar, please? $1. Have a good one. Got it.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey.
Hey, let me get a now bar.
Sure. $1.
Appreciate you.
Got it.
If you think all pads are exactly the same, think again. This is Always Ultra Thins reinvented with the Always Triple Protection System. This pad wicks gushes 90% faster, absorbs even more so you can feel dry, and locks odors in. Rethink your pad for up to 100% leak-free and odor-free comfort with the totally reinvented Always Ultra Thins. This is always like never before.
Whether it's advice on managing your anxiety or tools to help you stay grounded, Coping-19 provides a range of resources and self-care tips to help you cope with this pandemic. We can help. Find the resources that work best for you at coping-19.org.
Man, the heat is on. I got Joseph Mosley watching this show. You know, so now I got to sit up a little bit straighter, make sure my gig line's straight. I got David Price here. No, I've been trying to get David on the show for a minute, and we've been hit or miss. I'm gonna take the brunt of the blame because I thought I had his number, then I had to get it, and then he be busy. But I'm gonna just give you a little bit. I'm gonna let David tell you a little bit about himself. But David, y'all know I used to model. I still don't like it. But David is a photographer extraordinaire, and David, with David being one of the better photographers, this is what I can say about him, why I like him. He will promote other photographers still because he understands it's enough for everybody. It ain't like he got to be later. He be trying to get other photographers to come and do stuff. He can't be at every angle. This is one of the things that made me gravitate toward him. Then I found out he was a vet. You know, vets, we got our own language. Even though he was on different brands, I ain't gonna hold that against him. But he been Atlanta's hottest photographer. He's just a cool dude. And so I'm gonna let him tell y'all who he is. Then we're gonna jump on this because he came to cause a little trouble, because that's what vets do when they get together. And he got fighting something special. I got my infamous blue. So you know we're gonna have fun with it today. So David, tell him who you are. Look at he drinking with
Hey,
the pinky.
everybody,
Y'all know
how
when
y'all
people
doing?
drinking with pinky, what that mean.
Everybody, welcome. Thank y'all for having me, Darren. David Price here, photographer extraordinaire, retired Army veteran, 25 years of running and gunning, causing mayhem wherever I go. That's what I do. So, I'm just happy to be in the house.
So, and I want to thank you for coming. And I had some show topics I had wanted to talk about, and I was trying to find people. And in the process, because sometimes y'all know I like to have guests. The ones that don't, I just want you to have something to say where it makes sense, because we don't all have to agree. And David being I don't know if y'all can tell, but David is a black man, kind of like me, kind of like Joseph. The stats and reality says we like to kill each other. Let me just give y'all a quick thing about this. If we kill each other, we can't wage war on nobody else. So quit thinking we can wage war if we killing our own soldiers. That's the dumbest shit going. That is the dumbest shit going. At some point, we have got to stop killing each other. We ain't got to like each other. David, you were in the military. Did you like everybody in your unit?
Oh, hell no. I mean, no.
But y'all had a mission, right? It's all about the mission.
Done.
That's it. We got to stop thinking that we got to like each other to get shit done. We don't. It ain't a necessity as long as we got the same common goal. Black men, stop doing dumb shit. Stop blaming everybody else. Go ahead, sir.
Please stop doing dumb shit and then making excuses of why you did it. That if you mess up, own up.
So, one of the first things I want to talk about is I want to talk about being a bonus parent, because I'm so tired of. I'm tired to. Y'all make my large intestine ache. I'm so tired of seeing guys talk about trying to degrade women who have children. Ain't nobody gonna take on your child. Don't no real man want a woman with a child. Yeah, I'm like, where the hell y'all been? And just say you ain't shit, but don't speak for all men, because I know lots of men who will take on the role of being a bonus dad, of being a mentor to a child that is not biologically theirs. And when I had said something to David about this, he jumped right on in there, because I wanted to talk about. David's like, oh no, I'm down for that. So, David, are you a bonus dad? Because I hate the word.
I am a bonus dad.
And
bonus dad in the house right here.
I had to log off Facebook because he made, we love to call words for things we can't do. Oh, any man who take care of another man's child, you a simp. What benefits do you get from this and yada, yada, yada? Dude, you ain't never done it. But what benefit do you get from helping anybody? It makes you feel better when you can mold the future. That's my thought process. It ain't got to be my child. Any child who wants to listen to me, any man who wants to listen to me, we're helping mold the future. So, Dave, give us some thoughts on being a bonus dad and what it meant to you and how it made you feel.
Well, being that I was in the military for 25 years, I was blessed with a lot of partners in the military. Some good guys that we went into combat with. We shared a lot of joy, a lot of tears with. Our families grew together. And as you may well know, that during combat, people die. And me and my partners were like, yo, I got yours, and I know you got mine. So I have 6, 7, 10 bonus children from my military life. Partner passed away.
How many?
Yeah. Huh?
How many?
I 8 of them. One passed away, but I got 8 of them. 8 military bonus children. Their dads and me, their moms and me, we are all great friends, and they call me, from the range of Daddy David to Uncle David to Papa David, right, to whatever they need to call me to make themselves feel comfortable.
Okay.
So I have children that are my bonus children from around the world. My partners and I, we all have that same concept that if something happened to me, man, I got you. Something happened to you, you know how we do. So
it's a brotherhood.
It's a brother and sisterhood, yes, for sure. And I was blessed that my wife came into my life with 2 children, 2 young men that I told her, I love you, so therefore they are mine. And I took them 2 little boys on like my own.
say, hey, if you're gonna date me, you gotta take care of my kids?
Oh, for
I just
sure.
need some real world, huh?
Because I have children too, and you know
No, but
they
I'm
are.
saying, did
She's
she
not
tell
dating
you
my.
had to?
Oh no, she didn't. She didn't say nothing like that. But I'd already stepped forward and said that.
Well, you know, guys keep saying women keep making this demand, and I'm a bonus dad. I ain't never dated a woman who told me I had to take care of her kids. So I'm just trying to figure out where this fact comes from. I ain't saying it don't happen.
Couldn't tell you.
I just don't know nobody who can vouch for that.
I cannot vouch for that shenanigans because she was handling business before she met me. I just happened to come into her life and help make it. No, baby, you ain't got to worry about that because I got it. You ain't got to tell that little boy about keeping a condom on him. I got that. Don't worry about this. I'll show that man shit to him. I'll show him how to do that. That's my job now. Go and get your nails done. Hang out with your girlfriends. I can hold them boys down for you. That's a team. We work as a team.
So as me and you graduate to the Simp Academy, because we taking care of other people that ain't our business, and you know they gotta call us a name because we make them look bad because we stand up. Because I know of lots of guys who have become bonus dads. I know of women who have become bonus moms. So I'm just trying to figure out when all these people talking about, oh, ain't people want this. I ain't never had a demand for that. You got to take care of my child. Because, and I'm going to say this, and David, I want your comment when I finish. When we date a woman with a child, when we are dating a woman with a child, if we see that the child is bad, unruly, or hooligan, then we generally go away. We don't keep bad kids. So I don't know why y'all keep saying they want y'all to take bad kids, because I would say, unfortunately, in the dating process, that is one of the things that we look at. We look at how they are as a mother. That is big. For me, it was big when I was dating women. How are you as a mother? Because that will tell me a lot about you when I get sick.
Right.
So
well, my baby, she is a nurturer by her whole essence. She's the nurturer type. Now, don't get it twisted, because her favorite saying is, "I'll be on your ass like white on rice and a paper plate in a snowstorm." My wife, she go from sugar to shit so fast, make them like, wait a minute. What happened? Where's mama? Oh, she a grizzly bear now. She went from teddy bear to grizzly bear. Did I get that right, baby? She laughing, so I got it right.
I love it. I love it.
She's a nurturing spirit by nature. She'll give you the shirt off her back, even though she know that she got to make a new one to put a new one on. But she'll give you the one she had on. And
hey,
you know, go ahead.
Tell her to be ready when I do the bonus mom show.
Darren says, "Be ready when he do the bonus mom show, baby." Alright. She stayed ready, so she ain't got to get ready. That's what she said.
Sound like another vet.
She is. That's how we met. But that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day.
But hear how this goes. So, you know, this is why sometimes I have time and I entertain some of these conversations, because I'm trying to figure out this myth that we are passionate about women with kids. Because, again, we're just talking about me now, and I don't think I'm a unicorn. But my own phobias, I would only, for the longest, before I got married, I could say in my whole life, I have never dated a handful of women who didn't have kids. And, you know, part of that is because I'm from Atlanta and you don't know if everybody's everybody. So if you had a kid, that meant you were a real woman. See, that was one strike knockdown. I didn't have to check nothing. Because if you ain't got no kids, I need to see you. Hey, don't judge me. But if you ain't got no kids, I need to see some yearbook photos. I need to see baby pictures. But if you got a child, then, hey, I'm already on the right track. Because, like I said, this is Atlanta. And, hey, I know a couple people who got the operation. And if I didn't know them growing up, for those y'all who from Atlanta, y'all know who Dennis is. Dennis is the pretty boy. He was prettier than most girls I knew. And he found somebody to pay for his operation. Until he spoke to me and reminded me who he was, I was like, So yeah, I want a woman with a child. But that was just one of my things. But I can say, it's crazy. The women who had the worst kids, those kids had a dad in their life. See, those are my facts. Now, would I say that's worldwide? I don't know. I can just tell you from my experiences. And that's why when I hear people saying, oh, these facts are this, these facts are that. Go ahead, sir. He got the time I
You
said.
mean to tell me that the daddy in their life and these children are acting horrendously out of pocket?
Horrendously. And me and him almost went to blows because when I had a child out of wedlock. The only thing I ever told his mother is if you're getting serious with a guy, I would like to meet him because he needs to know two things. And we met. I was like, listen, this is my son. This is my son's mother. My son is a good boy. But if he's ever disrespectful to you, I expect for you to handle that. Don't call me, because if you got to call me to handle it, then you're a punk. But the biggest thing I need for you to know, this is my son's mother. There is nothing between us. But if you put your hands on her, I will fuck you up, because she is taking care of my son. So let's not get it twisted. I know she got a lot of mouth, but learn to walk away. Because if you put your hands on her, and she ain't going to tell me, my son is going to tell me that, Daddy, this man put his hands on my mama. And he going to say, he put his hands on your baby mama, because he look at it like his dad. So, you know, and this is one of those things where I learned this is stepping up. It's incumbent upon me to protect my son and his mother, because that's who he was living with at the time. So even though I had a girlfriend, I had a wife, she still fell under my umbrella of protection, because she's taking care of my son. My children, when I bought him a Christmas gift, I bought them a Christmas present. See, to me, this is that whole mentor thing, because you have to show them the right way. You can't just take care of yours, because that's what a lot of guys like do. Well, them other ones ain't mine. Why would I create animosity and put my son in a hostile environment because I can afford to do more than their father can? That's ass backwards. I'm putting my son in harm's way, because now his brother and sister gonna be, oh, you think you're special because your daddy can do this? No.
Exactly. Bruh, that's like that one girl whose baby daddy bought McDonald's for just his son. That burnt all my spirit up. I'm like, listen, if I can't afford McDonald's for everybody, little Caesar's right down the street, $5 pizza.
Right.
I got 10 of them. That's 2 pizzas.
And when you can't, then get your son to remove them from the scene and go eat with him and then bring him back. But don't bring it to the house.
That part.
You know, the one about the PlayStation where, oh no, the PlayStation is just for my son. It ain't for his brothers and sisters.
No.
Well,
hell no.
And see, my theory is, and David, I want you to, especially on this, that when I buy my son a gift, when it goes to his mother's house, at the end of the day, it's her responsibility to regulate how it goes, because that's her house. I can't say what's going on in her house. Like, and I'm gonna use David because we cool. If me and David shared the same woman, I mean, his baby mom is my wife or vice versa. He can't run my house no more than I can run his. When the kids are with me, I'm in charge. If he don't like it, then he need to keep the kids. But we can't have leadership from afar. And that's what I think a lot of these new dudes get so caught up on. Oh, I ain't finna deal with no baby daddy drama. There is no drama. You set down the rules when you first get there. When there go the star right there. When I got married and had this problem, me and the other parents sat down and said, hey, the kids are living with me and my wife. If you don't like the way things are run, come get them. But you can't. Here, bedtime is 10 o'clock. If you want to talk to them at 10:30, you will get over it. You will get over it. Now, if you want to talk to them, then come get them and let them spend the night at your house. They can stay up as late as they want to. And it's like, we make it seem so hard to have these conversations. It's like,
why?
Hey, because, and again, we're going to act like we're enemies, David, because we having a testosterone battle. And your wife is in the middle of it. Because, well, I don't want you talking to my kid no kind of way. Well, come get your little bad ass then. But the one bad child I had, we was getting ready to go to Jamaica, so I'm buying tickets for everybody. And so I didn't buy the little bad boy no ticket. His dad said, why you didn't buy my son? I said, remember when you came to me and you told me you didn't want me to discipline your son or none of that? Well, see, he can't get benefits. Benefits come with drawbacks. That's life. It's the good and the bad. You only want him to get the good shit from me. Ain't there one of y'all no pimp. So since you want to regulate what he can and can't do, you pay for all his shit. Because he ain't got to go on my dime. See, I'm paying for this.
That part.
Everybody understands the rules. I'm in charge. If something got out of pocket, I'm popping whoever get out of pocket. All you gotta do is not get out of pocket. My sons, I forgot how many boys I got. But the 3 boys who grew up with me, I whooped the oldest twice. Well, I ain't whooping. We got into a fight. I whooped him one time because he lied to me about his grades. All my kids will tell you, if you want to get a whooping, tell a lie. See, you can come to me and say, I'm failing the class. I'm going to be mad and punish you. But if you tell me you passed in the class and I find out you failing, that is a lie. Oh, it's gonna be some leather swinging. Yeah, it's going to be some leather swinging. My daughter got a whooping. When defects came, because she was a little red girl, she said, oh, I ain't going nowhere with y'all. I lied. I knew what the punishment was. He had already told us. And I ain't going nowhere. So, but that's my thought process. Because again, David can run my household. David can run his household. I can't run David's household from where I'm at. So when guys talk about, oh man, I ain't raising no another man's child. And I asked the guy, I said, your daughter is another man's child. I mean, not your daughter. Your honey, your sweetheart is another man's child. When you volunteer to get married, she got parents. She's somebody's child. So that's all we do. That's all we do. Because
perpetual cycle.
I don't know what David is doing in his life, but I know he's a good dude. He's taking care of his wife. I bet he is. So in essence, he's taking care of somebody's child. And he's taking care of her children. It's the same. Oh, that's different. A child is a child. And when you become a man, when you want to be a real man, this grown-ass man that we all claim to be, your king of the castle, all that falls up under you. Everybody in that castle is somebody's child. They just got different roles in your world, but they're all somebody's children. So
for those that want to be the king of the castle, that crown is heavy. That crown is heavy because, being that I'm a bonus dad, my children actually got on me. My actual ones that I raised up, they got on daddy's ass. They're like, Daddy, you ain't treating them like you treated me. Because I would have said what he said, you would have punched me in my mouth. I was like, I sure the fuck would. Why didn't you punch him in his mouth? Because he didn't know that's how I am. He's getting to know dad. He's getting that information now. Y'all been with me since y'all was babies. Since I was wiping your little ass, changing your diapers. They grown, they have grown already. I got to start them where you already at. So, that's a whole learning curve for them.
And at the end of the day, have you had more blessings than hardships being a bonus dad?
Oh, much blessings, bro. I'm telling you, man. Listen, like look. I got one son. I'm gonna tell on him. He already gone to work though. But Martell, I'm gonna tell you his name and everything. He's my quiet child. This boy, he's a ghost. He don't say much of shit to nobody. He don't mess with nobody. He don't do nothing. I'm like, this motherfucker don't like me. What did I do to him? I ain't done never been good to him. Look, this is what I like to sit down and have me a sippy sip. And I got jokes. So this is what he got me. It wasn't even Father's Day. He saw it and he got me. And that's why I knew, I'm like, okay, this little dude in his own way is appreciative of the things I've been trying to give him. The things that I've been trying to teach him. I got him when he was already over the age of 10. After they 10, all your job now is just to glide them into the path of being an adult. You can't mold shit at 10 plus because they already been molded. You try, you're going to break your clay.
And it's so crazy. Some of them want to learn. And it's funny you get that story. When I got married this last time, my wife had a teenager. She was 13 when she got here. And she was quiet, had a little attitude. I ain't never had to raise a teenage girl from scratch. And I thought she didn't like me. Like, because, every now and then she might crack a little smile at me, but she wouldn't say much.
Right.
And then one day I'm chilling and I get a phone call and it's her. And she like, Dad. She never called me dad before. She said, Dad, something happened at school. I was like, oh shit. Where you at now? She like, I said, I'm on the way. So me being me, I call her mama. I said, she getting dressed. And she said, getting dressed for what? I said, she didn't call you? She said, call me for what? I said, oh, she didn't say, She said, I ain't talked to what's going on. I said, shit, I don't know. I was calling to get the update from you. I thought you told her to call me. She said, she ain't called me and told me nothing. And it's so funny. She like, yeah, when something go wrong and she needs somebody to stand up, she call you first. She don't tell me shit. But a little boy was bothering her and she was in the principal's office and she called me. Now, when she needed loving and hugging and nurturing, she called her mama. But when she wanted to know about money, when somebody was bothering her, she calling me straight. And I'm like, that's so cool. But the whole time I'm like, David, I'm like, damn, does she even like me? You know what I'm saying? She'll look at me, she might fix me something to eat every now and then, but it's like she throw my plate down like it's slosh or something, like I'm in prison. Right. But under stress, she called me first. And that meant something to me. And then she got ready to graduate. She said, I want to go to the military. What? Where did that come from? You was in the Air Force, you did this. I'm like, oh, damn, they've been listening to shit you saying, picking up little stuff. They've been writing notes, and we missed all of that. We missed all. That's how blind we are.
They've been watching us.
Yeah, and that's it. But hey Mel, can you let Mo in right quick? But this is the benefit to me for being a bonus dad, for being a bonus parent. And everybody know I hate the word step because I ain't got no step kids. And it's so crazy.
That one step kid.
When Facebook started doing this thing where you could put all your family, I put my biological kids first because my other kids had parents. But one of my daughters called me and she said, Dad, I said, what's up? She said, you mad at me? I was like, why would I be mad at you? She said, why do you put me down as your daughter on Facebook? Oh shit, I'm trying to be respectful. Because she got a relationship with her father. But shit, let me change this.
I'm going to fix that.
And I'm like, man, these little kids, they something different. And, one of my ex-girlfriends from 20 years ago called me out the blue. And she said, I need you to come get your daughter. I'm thinking, who are you talking about? Because she never would call her daughter my daughter. And she said, she over here acting crazy. I said, put on the phone. First thing out her mouth, she said, Dad, my mom was acting like a bitch. I was like, oh, yeah, you can't say that about her. And she just started calling me dad. And I was like, so it really took us to be apart for 10, 15 years for you to acknowledge that she's mine now. But she got a daddy. He's a bum. I'm sorry, she has a father. He's a bum. And it's like, you don't never know. And as they get older, you get all these bonus gifts out of nowhere. Because we don't know if they like us. Because they don't just generally walk up to you and say they love you, because most of them are quiet. They just observing. And then when they get older, you see them doing the right thing. And quick break. Welcome Mo to the show. Mo is my conscience. David, Mo is the one who's gonna keep us straight. Because sometimes, we act crazy. So Mo is the wisdom for the group.
I can't hear Mo.
Mo, you got your speaker on? I mean your microphone on? Oh, Mo ain't paid his phone bill.
Mo done messed up.
So, but yeah, and like I said, this was one of the reasons I wanted to have David on the show, because I didn't know he was a bonus dad. And for me, being a bonus dad is almost as enjoyable as being a biological dad, because the things that kids give you, kids can change your whole world. When you having a shitty day, it's somebody who can change your whole world with a touch or with a smile. Oh, it look like he got an amen over there. Go ahead.
There. I gotta say this. My youngest and my wife's youngest, these two little boys, I could have sworn it was gonna be a rumble in the jungle when they got together. But these two turned out to be thicker than thieves. Like you can tell them they weren't brothers. Like I'm telling you, they clown together, they ride together, they talk shit together. These two have been great to watch them, and it's been hilarious to watch them both grow into the men they are. I'm telling you, it's a bonus. It's a true blessing to have a bonus.
Is it in it? You got any bonus door?
Oh yeah.
Pimp you and tell they love you, and they just make a total sucker out of you. Because every time they say they love you, you know what it mean? It mean go on and break out your ATM card. But when they say they love you, or they give you that look, I don't care how bad your day is, it just automatically gets 100 times better. It's a.
Oh
And
yeah,
it's like, man,
I got 4 bonus daughters.
it's like that's what I say. I want boys. I don't want no girls. Girls make suckers out of us. They just they punk us. You know, when my boys do something wrong, it's so crazy. I wrestle with my boys, and my girls will be looking at me like, "You don't play with us like that." I'm like, "You're girls," and it's like, "I don't want to be a girl," so I had to beat my girls up too. See, my girls can fight because they didn't want to be no
Oh, yeah.
soft. No. See, stepdad, Robert, is a real derogatory term because there are no step grandmothers, there are no step aunts. So why do dads have to be step? That's why they're bonuses.
Right.
See, there is no such thing as step love. You either love them or you don't.
That
You
part.
either love them or you don't. So that's why we're called bonus dads. Because think about this. A lot of us, David, how old are you, if I may ask?
I am 51, about to be 52.
Okay, David 52, I'm 57. Growing up, did you have any other mothers growing up?
Of course. My
So
godmother.
right. This has been going on for years. We most of us have 3 or 4 different mothers who look out for us, who we respect with the utmost, and we know who our mother is, and our mama know who our mamas are, and we never called none of them step. We had Big Mama play all this. Why did we come up with step? Because step is such a nasty, and I would never degrade one of my children and call them a stepchild because it makes them seem different from my children. All my children are my children. They're my children. I don't even call them bonus children. I mean, we saying bonus for the purpose of this conversation so you'll understand. But step is a word that if you call my kid step, I think that's the one something I'm ready to fight you about.
That part. They my boys. They my children.
You do better. I'm talking about my mom and daddy. But if you start calling, ain't you supposed to be working? I'm being harassed again. But yeah, you can't call none of my kids step kids. It just ain't finna happen. So when people will say that, like they use the word little to try to throw shade on the scenario. Oh, David, you got your little photographer going. Oh, you got your bro. David is a full-fledged photographer with bonus kids. Ain't no little, ain't no step. You know, if you don't respect it, that's cool. Keep your shit over there. You can have all the step kids you want. They don't exist in my world. Yes, ma'am.
I have none.
So what? Man. What's going on, Peddler? What's up, Mo? Did you cut your speaker on yet?
1 2 1 2. Can you hear me?
All right, there you go. In the house.
We got you now, Mo.
I got the peace sign over here in the bottom right, so I'm good.
So yeah, when I hear dudes complaining about this bonus, I mean about women with children, and they trying to make it seem like they the bottom of the barrel, and just say you don't want to step up, dude. Just say you don't have what it takes. But we gotta quit being disrespectful for somebody who will do something that we ain't willing to do. And gentlemen, don't judge me on this, but I ain't into pegging. But I don't knock no man that's into it. I'm just not into it. I'm not finna question his sexuality or nothing. This brother don't want one of them orgasms that he's heard about, because I heard they great. I don't want one from pegging. But I don't judge no brother who say he like pegging. We will judge a brother who will do something that we won't do. Yeah, every man ain't cut out to be a bonus dad. A lot of y'all ain't cut out to be dads. But that's a whole nother show. It's a whole nother show.
Man,
but
listen.
When you find somebody who is, let them do their thing. If you don't want to date a woman with kids, don't date a woman with kids, but don't try to dog out women who do have kids or try to make them seem like they less than shit. Just, they ain't you. I see you talking, Mo.
Yeah, no. Can you hear me?
Well, let me just say this right quick. My wife got me on the floor because she's supposed to be working. So I'm in a whole different setup. But now she's standing right over here looking at me, taking a break. Okay, go ahead. I just wanted to put it in there in case something happened to me. I needed some witnesses.
Hey, can y'all hear me now?
Go ahead, Mo. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I just wanted to, this is a lot of discussion on bonus this and step this and all that. And I'm gonna just tell you, I'm a rap fan, man. And this come from a rap line. It says blood is thicker than water, but you need water to live. Just remember that. Okay, so that blood, everybody talking about, that's not my dad because we don't got the same blood. That's not right. You know what I mean? You get to choose who you want to look up to, who you want support from, who you want to grow through. You know what I mean? You get to choose that. No, there's no law that just says just because this man was your sperm donor, all of a sudden you gotta look towards him. You get to choose that yourself.
And as men who used to be boys, we know this. There are men in our life, but we still chose our own mentors. Men, you know, most of us had uncles and granddaddies, and we respected them as that. But that don't mean they were the ones that we looked to for everything. We picked our own mentors, and
that's right.
That's just the way of the jungle. And you know, like I said, I just hate when I see guys trying to degrade women or denounce them as being less than. There was one guy, he got his baby mom, he gave his baby mama 3 kids and he left her. And then he made a post about how women with kids ain't shit. I was like, so you created one of these and then you saying she ain't shit because you, who claim to be a real man, you left her. Oh, I take care of my kids. Show me your child support statement. Show me the checks you sent to them. Oh, I do more than you saying it. But you just said the woman that you created, you turned her into a nobody because you left her. So she was good enough for you to have 3 babies, but she wasn't good enough for you to marry. Oh, she could have made the shit. She could have, but we talking about you who want to be a king. And this is where I knew David could get me. When people say, why do you go so hard on men? I said, because I don't hear women asking to be kings. I don't hear women asking shit. They don't want to do nothing other than have a puppy or a slave. So if you ask them to be a king, kings have to do king shit. Kings have to do uncomfortable things. Kings have to support their kingdom. I'm just saying. So if y'all want to be kings, do king shit.
Did I say earlier the weight of that crown is heavy? Stepping up to a king shit ain't easy.
And what did Mike Tyson say? Everybody want to be a fighter till they get hit. Being a king, you gonna get hit. You're gonna get hit. You gonna have some days you don't even want that crown. But guess what? You can't denounce it. You got to do it. You have to do it. And Mo been married. David been married. I'm still learning this shit. But in marriage, gentlemen, it's submission, not a two-way street.
Oh, definitely.
Oh man, look, absolutely. Listen, I'm in the house and my wife says, I want to get these rooms painted. Right? So I know what color I want the rooms painted. She know what color she want the rooms painted. What color you think the rooms got painted?
Well, I'm sure that you smart enough to want the same color she wanted. So they
my color was different, man. She got what she wanted. You know what I mean? That's her domain. So I'm like, let me just fall back. You know what I mean? That's just how it works in our family.
And it's stuff like that. But because now, gentlemen, is it anybody who is more of a baby than a man who is sick? Because what's the one time we all want our mama? When we sick. And she ain't there. So our wife. Because when men get sick, we ain't worth shit. When we are truly sick, and we want orange juice, we want some Vicks Vapor Rub, we want some nighttime stuff, we want all this shit. Ain't nothing macho about us when we are truly sick and up under that cover holding it tight. Oh. And you know what we all need? Killing dragons. But when we sick, man, we can't even kill roaches. We just pouty.
Go.
And we are the biggest baby, so we can't survive without a strong woman. So for the guys who don't want strong women, please don't never let nothing happen to you. For the guys who want puppies to date, understand when shit is going downhill, your shit is gonna sink because you got somebody who you don't want to make decisions when you can't make them. I guarantee these 2 brothers on this show, and I ain't asked them nothing about their married life, but based on the way they present themselves, you already heard Mo say he learned what color he really liked. He didn't know about the other color, so he thought he wanted the color till he saw a better color.
That part, that's what it was.
Right. You know, sometimes we didn't know about the different shades of blue. What's up, Chloe? But when these grown-ass men, the true leaders, the true men who like to mentor, we enjoy being mentored too. We enjoy being taken care of. We enjoy taking that crown off and knowing that the ship ain't gonna go astray because we picked a woman who could lead us as well. That's what I believe, and that's what my world say. Most of the guys I know have strong women who they can hey baby, I don't feel good, and they be like, I got you. They ain't gonna do no shit to let us die. I'll tell you, I don't fuck with these ride or die chicks. They gonna keep us on the path. When we doing something crazy, They're gonna say, hey baby, come and get some and go to bed. Or have a drink and go to sleep. But the shit you talking about is crazy. You're not gonna be able to do that. But these new dudes, oh, I don't want no woman talking back to me. Why she don't just let me make bad decisions? She should just be in my corner. Y'all want puppies. Y'all want
Damn, that's a
puppies.
dumbass.
And this is why women are losing respect for men. This is why, unfortunately, women are relegated to wanting to be a side piece to me, Mo, and David, because they would rather have a piece of a good man than all of a shitty dude.
Unfortunately.
Y'all are worse than boys. I could go somewhere with both of these gentlemen, and we ain't never been nowhere drinking. I would bet my entire finances that if we saw a woman in distress, ain't neither one of these men gonna be like, wonder what she did to deserve that ass whooping.
Oh, hell to the nah.
I bet ain't either one. It's gonna be a race who get that first win. Ain't gonna tap each other. We gonna. But to me, for me, this is what men do. Not males, not dudes who want to be, not self-proclaimed kings. Because every single woman controls our future. Without them, we got no future. And without each other, we got no war to fight. Because if I kill Mo, if I kill David, who gonna fight this war with me as we try to get to the top?
That part.
Nobody. And as we dog women, who was it that did the Underground Railroad? Damn, that was Harriet Tubman, wasn't it?
Yeah, Mr. Tubman, yeah.
And her husband wouldn't go with her. So if she would have listened to him, she would have stayed a slave and no black people got free. If you don't want a strong woman, just say that. Just say that strong women ain't for everybody. See, brothers like me, brothers like these two, we're a little bit into pain and shit like that. So we pick strong women. Because sometimes they don't give a shit about us being bigger than them. They don't care about us, nothing. When we going wrong, every now and then we get the politeness. They give us a drink before they yell at us. But sometimes they just say, hey, are you out of your fucking mind? And we be like, what I do, baby? All of a sudden, all the bass going on our voice, ain't it, David? All the bass.
You better ask somebody.
Mo, say something to you.
That phrase, I need to talk to you. And you hoping it's one of the kids you got to kill.
Right. Like,
man, look, I can't even count on two fingers how many times my wife has steered me in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how easy it is to go off track. Y'all brothers know, man. It's easy to just go off track. Like, there was a time where, I was about to flip, man. And, wife calmed me down, said, listen, it's not even a thing. You know what I mean? And in that moment, I probably would have been in trouble. But I just chilled. I got advice from her, should I go this way? Should I go that way? I got advice. And if you keep making your woman or thinking your woman is subservient, you putting yourself in a weaker position. Some people don't know that. You put yourself in a weaker position.
But ain't that the reason we pick them? Because of their strength? Because they can hold us up? Because we know we heavy to deal with. David, no, he ain't the easy motherfucker to deal with.
I know I'm an asshole at days.
And David say this shit proudly. And
Brad,
his wife will probably co-sign it. But hey, when you are like that, when you got DVP tendencies, when you got David tendencies, when you got Mo tendencies, because see, I did a thing with Mo. I didn't realize it at the time. We was doing a show, and I heard somebody call him a name different than Mo. And when they said his government name, Mo straightened up a little bit. I was like, oh, that must be wifey. Cause wifey don't do nicknames. Wifey call you back. I was like, oh, let me change my tune because I don't want to get in trouble with nobody's wife. And if she's straightening him up, hell, I might be next because she might think we friends because I want to denounce this friendship before I get in trouble. I don't want none of that smoke, players. Cause in my mind, I know what kind of women they're gonna pick, and they're gonna pick women who make them do right, even when we don't want to because we're tired or we're lazy or whatever it is. We crave this. And as David said, this ain't for the weak. This is not for the weak. Because sometimes when you get your ass handed to you by a little cute something and you know she right, you can't do, you're a little puppy. And restaurant and you apologize, but you don't challenge her. Babe, why you do that? She was right. My bad. And you keep moving. This is what being a man is, being able to accept your mistakes, own them, and move forward. Because I bet out of the three of us, ain't now one of us can tell you that we ain't never made no mistake.
Man, I'm perfect. I'm perfect, man.
I'm
I ain't never
perfectly
made a mistake.
imperfect.
But you see all these guys, why she got to keep challenging me? Because you making dumb decisions, player. Because I guarantee you, by the same text, all three of us have dealt with women that we were not emotionally with, who really didn't know us a whole lot, but when we gave them a direction to do something, they just did it because it was the right thing. When I told you, my wife told this woman to put her bag down because I don't like women open the door. The woman set her bag down, and when I came to pick her bag up, all she did is look at me and smile. Nothing. She didn't say, I carry my own bags. I don't know where y'all meeting these women at. Women who are claiming they want equal rights, it wasn't at home. They wanted equal rights in the workplace. I ain't never heard, and I got two married men, I'm gonna let them talk. I ain't never heard a woman say, I want to be equal at home. I want to be 50-50 at home. I want the same rights at home. They wanted this shit in the workplace. But Mo, David, tell me what your wife say when she want equal rights. Is she talking about she want to take the trash out? She want to do it. She want to do the oil change. What she want?
Nah,
Listen,
man,
we got
I
a
ain't
rule
never
in
heard
my
that.
house. My wife gonna make the groceries. She better not bring one red daggone bag in this house. She made the groceries. Y'all go get these bags. Y'all want to eat, don't y'all? That's just one of my things. She come in and she sat down. She been in the store all day. Go for it, Mo. I'm gonna refill.
Nah, man, we just listen. We do so, and this is kind of the information I got from DVP kind of helped me explain this a little easier. And it's whoever's better at it, that's who you allow to take the lead. Whoever's better at it. I asked DVP one time. I said, "Listen, man, if you in the bed, you and your wife in the bed, and somebody break in, and they come up to the room, and y'all got a gun available, who taking a shot?" And I thought he was going to say him, but he said, whoever's the better shot. So, that taught me something. I was like, the guy's going to take the shot. Nah, man, whoever's the better shot, man. You know what I mean? So it comes down to that. When you talk about equity, that's what you're talking about. Whoever's the best at it, because y'all are supposed to operate as a team. You ain't operating as
like
individuals.
That,
you know what I mean?
like that.
You can't let your machismo get in the way of real life. I say, and my first wife, she tried out for SWAT. I could never try out for SWAT. So when that question, I'm like, yeah, she's taking a shot. Now we're gonna fight. I'm doing the fight, but again, I'm the better fighter. But this whole process for those who are really about that life, being a man, a true man beyond the biological sense requires so much work. This ain't a light title to hold. It ain't easy because we do get tired. We do get frustrated. And I guarantee you, Dave walked off and Mo here, but sometimes we don't want to hold that mantle no more. But we really don't. It ain't many brothers who we believe will pick up our slack. And as I watch social media and people say what's factual, 20% of men sleep with 80% of women. That to me has got to be one of the dumbest stats I ever heard. 20% of men sleep with 80% of the women. Just do the math on that. You know how much these 20% dudes got to be getting around? And I'm sure that in our day, we probably had some good time.
But no. Listen, man. It's 20 Wilt Chamberlains. That's all. You need 20 Wilt Chamberlains to do that.
And hell, that still that barely will cover a county.
I know.
But these dudes keep doing this. We want to be kings, but we don't want to do leadership or kingship shit. When I called David the other day to ask him to help me out doing some stuff with some veterans, you know what David said? Say no more. That was it. See, because we learn who we can depend on to do certain things. Because when you want men to do stuff. David said one day he wanted to do a photo shoot with a bunch of black men. One of the pictures that I think we took about 5-6 years ago. That picture, man, strange women I don't even know were sharing that picture. And it's so funny, they didn't just take the picture. They were taking David's post, my post, the other guys would post it. So we kept getting tagged every time it gets shared because they would just share the whole post about black men coming together and us all dressing like grown men. Because it's a myth that we don't know how to dress. It's just that there's not a lot of us who dress for no reason. You know, we at home, we can do what we want to do. But when we hit the streets, you know, David was supposed to get me some pictures, but he didn't. But when you hit the street, David got a bow tie on.
All day.
David doing his thing. You ain't gonna see David at an event where he's working and David ain't even in front of the camera. I ain't never seen him take pictures in a sweatshirt. David looked like one of us, but he behind the camera because it's the presentation. Men understand their public presentation.
How you dress is how you will be addressed.
Well, the man told me dress for the position you want, not for the position you got. But what you just said is a mouthful. I got bumped up to first class on a plane trip because I was in a suit and tie. Simply because they was like, can we get you to do this and we'll upgrade you? And I know I was black. I don't know why they looked at me, but hell, I was the best dressed person on the plane. And not because I was just fly, but I had on my tie, had on a sport coat, had on my boots, and she just picked me out of the crowd. So this is what men do. We don't sit back and degrade women. We don't sit back and talk down on women. And if we're gonna do this whole thing and do it right, David, Mo, DVP, our wives have to check women. David, Mo, and DVP got to check men. Because we are what we doing. We got to check men and make them do right. I don't know what's going on in ladies' mind. They don't want to be the leader. I got to check the leader, the self-proclaimed leader. You know, hell, when that text thing come and they say head of household, I don't never know what to say. I'm just like, shit, I don't know what that means, but you know, I'm gonna let my tax guy check it because I don't want to get in trouble. Because the head of household, depending on what we doing. Shit, what we doing? As most, man, some fights ain't worth it. Sometimes she the head, sometimes I'm the head. But we got one household aiming for the same thing. And you know, when I talk about what we have to do, David didn't know me when he asked me to take the picture, but this is men mentoring men because I look up to David. Joe, who is over there, I'm waiting for him to come to the show. I look up to David. Me and Mo met we weren't buddies. I look up to him because they can provide information, so they're teaching me something. See, you can't be too old to learn, and you can't be too old to learn from somebody younger than you. Learning is learning. And that's the way men mentor men. That's the way men become men. You can't be what you ain't never seen. So it's on us to make ourselves a little bit more available. Because unfortunately, David got a family, but you know what? For him to get that man gene out there, I got to pull him out and get him around some younger people so they can see that. And that's been our fall. That's been our downfall. That most of the men who can present a good image, we've gotten married, we've got families. So we came out of mainstream America and we started dealing with our households. And we left it to bums. Instead of getting killed off like the male elephants, we just became house husbands. We became dedicated. You read what to do, but a bunch of young bucks. When the guy asked me, how did you know this? Well, I had my first showers out when I was in my 20s. But all the men that I knew had children and they deserted them. For me, that was normal. That was what I saw. I didn't see good role models until later on in life. All the men in my circle would talk about the kids they had, but I never saw them. What a baby mama? I don't know, man. I don't keep up with them. And we act like that's the norm. And then we dog the women. Then we wonder why the women don't want to deal with us sometimes. And you got David taking on other people's kids. Damn, David met a woman who took on other people's kids. So 2 simps married each other. I'm a simp because I married a woman with kids. Hell, I married 3 women with kids. And that is, to me, to even throw that name out there because it's something that you can't do. Mo wrote a book. Hell, I can't write no book. I'm a cop. I would never be a cop. So you don't want to help your community. You a bitch about something. I tell you the reason I stayed at the cop was because I saw I could help my community. I could be outside talking about it. You fix things from inside. Can't fix from the outside. You don't know shit. Men have to mentor men. Men have to mentor boys to men. And Mo got a group. They got two groups. One is about stocks and one is about helping boys become better. Because this is what we got to do. And it ain't even boys sometimes. Sometimes, hell, in our little group that me and David are part of, there's some guys in the group who ain't fully mature yet. But guess what? We can't let them go. They trying, so we got to show them the right things to do. Because sometimes boys or adult males make bad decisions because they ain't never seen nobody make a good decision. And sometimes you have to make a good decision in front of them so they can see. Or when they make a bad decision, you have to ask them why they made that bad decision. Explain to them.
And don't just let them do it. That's the part that gets me. If you see somebody fucking up, why you gonna let them keep messing up? Man, that irks me. If
He'll
I see
learn.
you messing up, I'm not gonna say, D, just go ahead, do you, man. Go ahead and mess up. D, what are you doing? Why are you doing that shit? Stop it. Come here, man. Let's talk about that. That kills me when another man sees a man especially messing up, and they don't pull him to the side and say, yo, bro, what are you doing? That hurts
Why
my
you
heart.
doing that? Why are you doing that?
What do you think you're doing?
Man,
I tell you,
go ahead.
The worst impact to my growth as a male was dysfunctional uncles and dysfunctional brothers. So I'm gonna tell you, man, you got to find yourself a group of well-grounded, well-educated men who got life experience that can help you get you to where you need to go. Because if you don't have that, man, you just gonna be, you know what I call it? I call it flying on autopilot. You're just gonna be on autopilot. You don't know where you're gonna end up. You need to have a plan, information.
But you need to have an open mind. And now in the 21st century, in this age of information, to not know something is willful ignorance. And I tell people, men are still hard. Sometimes we won't tell people when shit is going wrong with us. So sometimes it's our fault because we have got to be better as the older crew with saying things and letting people help us so that we can see. Because there are times we could have helped somebody, but they never told us they needed help. They never engaged in casual conversation. Because you don't have to say you need help. You could just pose the question, because that's what we like to do. Man, what would you do if this was happening? It's my scenario. I ain't going to tell you it's mine. And then you start getting solutions. So you don't have to say it's yours. Just pose a scenario to a group of men that you respect or who you know make good decisions. And say, damn. Because then it be shit you ain't never thought about. You're like, man, that's a good one. Because you only know what you've been exposed to. Go ahead.
My therapist and me are good friends. Well, not good friends because she keep me straight. She's like, you messed up on that, right? I think everybody should have a therapist or somebody professional they can talk to. Someone's not gonna just take their side, but give them the lowdown and the gritty. Like, listen, I don't know what you were thinking when you said that, but you know you're wrong. But why am I wrong? And then y'all have that conversation. My therapist is like, I don't know how you still standing, but you're doing it. Like, ma'am, I have no other choice. I got 6 young men watching me. And I got 3 daughters seeing how I handle things. So I have to stand. I can't not stand.
And we got to lead by example. When my daughter from 2 marriages ago went to the prom, her date came up, knocked on the door, did everything he was supposed to do. Then when they left, she opened the door to her car. And everybody looked. The mama looked at me. I'm sorry, he got in the car first. Then everybody stopped and looked at me. Because they know I don't play that shit. So I told her to come back in the house. I told the young man, I need for you to go back home. This is back in the day when everybody still got a house phone. This is my number. Call me from the house phone. I want you to start from scratch and get this shit right. My daughter does not touch doors unless she's driving. I don't know what you learned or what you heard. And he was like, I got to go all the way back home. I said, you can go wherever this phone number connect to, but you got to go somewhere else and call me, and we're going to start from scratch. Because what I just saw was totally disrespectful. My daughter is not one of your homeboys. You see this pretty dress she got on? The next time I ever see her touch a door handle and you're going to need to call your daddy because I'm going to open up a can of whoop ass. And she was like, Dad, you going to really make him go all the way back home? I said, yeah. He came all the way with that fucked up mentality, so he need to start from scratch and get his mind right.
Get it right.
30 minutes later, about About 20 minutes later, because he went somewhere and called me from a house phone. Then he came back. Dude, I don't play this. And everybody knew that, hey, man, that's one of my, hey, man, girls open the doors, and a man is, I can't take it. I can't take it. Only one exception. If it's raining like hell, my mom said, everybody hit that door, shawty. But when it's raining cats and dogs, my mom say 1, 2, 3, run.
Everybody jumping in.
Right. So, but these are things we have to do, and we have to implement it, as Dave said, on people who are not ours. As Mo said, you can't just do it with your clan, because there are boys out there who crave this. They crave this. And, I want to blame something. I do want to put some of the blame on mothers. But when I put the blame on them, and rightfully so, I got to realize why I'm blaming them still. The reason I'm blaming them is because a man screwed up. Well, the mamas don't do this. Well, you put the mama in a bad position when you disappear. See, she don't want the kid. She don't want your child living in the hood. So she working 2 jobs. She's a little tired. So when she worked 2 jobs to try to support this neighborhood because you ain't giving her no money, she loses parenting time. If you chipped in a little bit, she could let one of these jobs go and take better care of your son. And I told you, that's why I didn't mind paying child support. It was a little high, but guess what? My son's mother was happy, which meant my child was going to be happy. Well, she getting her hair done. I'm okay with that. If she get her hair done, she's happy. When she's happy, he's happy. Ain't too many nappy-headed girls happy. So if your baby mama is nappy-headed, then trust your son ain't getting the best. He ain't getting the best guidance. Take care of that. Take care of that. For dude came on the show. I said, dude, if you ain't paying at least $500 in child support, you can't talk to me. That's my rule. $500 is the minimum. Well, I'm paying $475. I said, well, get off my show. $500. If you ain't paying at least $500, there's nothing for us to talk about. Everything she does, she pays for up front. She waits for you to pay her back. See, when your daughter is sick, she got to take off. Your child support don't increase for that time at work she missed. Now she got to work a double one day. And you still ain't going to do nothing but complain about her hair and nails being done. I ain't got no time for that. But she neglects your child because you neglect her, which causes her to neglect your child. They don't want to hear that. And it's like, dude, explain it to me where it didn't hurt my feelings. Because when your baby mama trying to tell you this, all you see is greed because we don't know no better. But when somebody sits you down, as David said, and explain the way shit go, I never looked at it as they were spending their money waiting for me to reimburse them. But that makes sense. Because they only get the child support check once a month. So all the money she done spent that she could have got her hair done with, she spent it on my child. So when she get paid back, why shouldn't she get her hair done?
Why not?
Why shouldn't she get her nail done? Why can't she want to look cute? But in our machismo, we want her to suffer because she left us. And we want our kids to suffer because she left us.
Nah, well, you can't. Not everybody, though. No, there's some of us out there that did the right thing regardless. You know, not every man. Now, not every father, because you said it right earlier. That's your father, not your daddy. Not every father did what he was supposed to do. Because my wife and I were talking the other day, and she was mentioning about how much money that her ex owes her in child support. We ain't worried about that dude, but it would be nice if he did what he was supposed to do for his babies. He created them, but oh shit, I gotta take that call later. I gotta call her back. God dang it, messing up my money.
Do you need to take a break? I don't want to mess up your money. I might need to borrow $20.
You know you good for it. I got some magazine stuff. You know how I do. I stay in the magazine issue.
I know. And see, hey, if you're interested in modeling, because some of y'all said something, reach out to a brother. Like David know a lot of people. Hell, I know people. I just don't like modeling. I like taking pictures with David though, because David is a hell of a photographer.
As a matter of fact, they want us to do that all male review again. I have a lot of people in my inbox. When we gonna do that all male shoot again?
See, David be trying to get all us on divorce court on the slide.
No, it ain't like that, man.
Well, is that second guy from the right, man? I said, I can't count. Don't ask me about none of these dudes. I tagged everybody. Look at the picture who it is, inbox them. I don't know nothing.
Listen, I had folks talking about, hey, can I just come be the oil and oil them down when they change out them suits? I said, we're not changing out them suits. The whole concept was classy cognac and cigars.
See, they be trying to get us
you, that
drunk
was a
for.
wild day.
They be trying to get us drunk for the women. That's what he be doing. Yeah, they have little tips to come on in and take advantage of them.
They want to come down and oil y'all down. I'm like, y'all leave me alone.
Yeah, we got to be oiled up in suits. I ain't messing with it. Oh,
You know,
man,
though,
I left.
let me tell you, you really minimizing the impact of that photo though, because when I was coming up, man, I never seen no photos like that where you have success. You look, I don't know everybody, but I'm gonna assume just how they look. Successful, well put together black men, just all, you know what I mean, just coming together, taking a nice picture, just having a good time. Ain't nobody arguing, nobody throwing potato salad, ain't nobody fighting. You know what I mean? It's just a nice. You could just take that in and just say, man, that's a nice picture, and this is how I want to use as a baseline to set my path. You know what I mean? That's just a good way to be, man. Good thing to see.
And he set that up. Yeah, he set that up. It wasn't nobody. David told all us where to be, but David set that up. And the thing is, even amongst that group, as I was saying, we don't all get along, but we come together for a cause. And this is what people got to stop thinking. Everybody got to be drinking buddies or friends. You unite for a common cause. We want to present a positive male role model. We want to present positive male images. We want to show you can get us together. Ain't gonna be no fighting. We can get together. We can wear suits and not look like we vagabonds or whatever. This is what we do when you put the call out, because we all know people.
Yes, sir.
And that's the whole concept. We got to stop fighting. Y'all know they my favorite photographer. I ain't never had the chance. I'm gonna put him on the spot now. Never had the chance to do a personal photo shoot with him, but I've done personal photo shoot with Tim. Tim is my favorite photographer. Me and Tim went to high school together. I've been knowing Tim since I was 15. But when people ask me about photographers, David can tell you he done seen why I done tagged him before, because it's enough for everybody. David is one of my favorite photographers still. It's enough for everybody. You ain't gotta just have one, because sometimes Tim out of town, sometimes David doing stuff with magazines, sometimes J Bell, I don't know what J Bell be in his world. There's enough great photographers out there that you don't have to, oh, why you ain't tag me? Well, you was doing this. And I like when grown men like that ain't jealous. When hell, they can promote somebody else just as easy as they can promote themselves, because sometimes we are busy. You can't do it. I could do the show by myself. What's the point in that? I talk about more in his book. I'm gonna tell y'all about David and his pictures. He's supposed to have one. I'm gonna put him on the spot again. He's supposed to have one. We're gonna get one. But there's so many great ways to get stuff. Every time I see somebody and they promote something, I try to help them promote their stuff. It costs me nothing to promote somebody. It costs me 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Why wouldn't I promote another brother? Why wouldn't I promote another good person? Why wouldn't I?
That part. Nothing off my back to help you up.
Right. And you know, when I talked to Dave about what I wanted to do with the vets, he was all in. I don't know shit about photography. He was like, when you need, David, you the photographer. You tell me when you available. I'm just throwing some ideas at you, because what resourceful men do is they can take an idea and put their spin on it. They can put their spin on it, and everybody got input on the bigger product, because it's still one goal. That's all that matters, is that we all get to the top of this mountain. How we get there is how we get there. But the top of the mountain is where we want to be.
Who was it that said that they don't want to be the smartest person in the room? They want to surround themselves with people smarter than them. Was that Bill Gates?
Bill Gates.
I think, yeah.
That was Bill Gates. Because if you're the smartest person in your circle, you need a new circle. I love being around people that know something different than me or more than me or something. I don't want everybody in my house think I'm a walking encyclopedia, which I am. I listen. I don't know about y'all. Y'all, we all the same age, right? So my summer reading included the Encyclopedia Britannica. My mama made us read it in some whole week. You ain't finished them A's, so tell me something about them A's. Okay, where them D's? We had to read the entire encyclopedia every summer, the whole A to Z.
Yeah, they don't realize what real child abuse is. They don't know nothing about them Encyclopedia Britannica. They don't know nothing about them.
But but that gave me a leg up in life because there were a lot of circles that they were like, oh, we can't be around David fucking up because that motherfucker knows some shit. Pretty much. Thank you, mama. I appreciate you, mama.
Yeah.
And now with these kids nowadays, I love when my kids ask me a question. I look at them and say, how about you GTS it? GTS? Google that shit. Y'all got a supercomputer in your pocket. I had to go through, let me go find the encyclopedia, where the library card. Find the card and go find what I need. Y'all just got to search it in your computer, but you want to ask somebody something. Look it up.
Yeah. Because back in our day, if we didn't know how to spell it, we couldn't get it right. Google wouldn't correct it for us. You got to figure out how to spell something before you can check it out and know what it is. But this is that learning process. See, when my kids say, hey, I don't have nothing to do. Oh, man, I got homework assignments galore. You ain't going to tell me you bored and ain't got nothing to do. I bet you
Boy, that's the worst thing my kids ever said, Daddy, I'm bored. Let's get a book. Ah, shit.
But you know it hit home when they start telling each other that. You know you got to look that up. You know you got to look that up because now they know the system. So guess what? They become independent in their own research, which again is something. 20%, 80%. And Mo, you might be Mo. I'm gonna put you on the spot. You should have this. You should have this data because you're the best. You're the best researcher of the three of us. Have you seen the stat that says kids from parents with dual household do better than kids from single parent households? Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Okay, find it for me. Because everybody who keep repeating it, every time I show them to show it to me, nobody can show it to me. So it's like, I need to see it. Because in my world, I don't see proof of coming from two-parent households makes you better than single-parent households. I want to believe it, but I worked in jails and prisons. I saw the most violent criminals came from two-parent households. The petty criminals came from single-parent households. That's in my work history, but I only worked in one jail. So when people keep telling me this, I say, send it to me. I know a bunch of soldiers who came from single-parent households. They turned out to be great people. I know a bunch of athletes, single-parent households. So in my reality, that doesn't make sense to me because it just doesn't. So if you find them, just shoot it to me because I hate when people tell me, well, you can look it up. I tried looking it up and I can never find it. So I just want to see where it is. If we're going to push it, I believe, I'm going to let you get this. I believe that coming from a loving household is better than coming from a numerically superior household. If you got love in the house, you can overcome a lot of shit. Numbers don't do that. Love does that. But go ahead, Mo, I'm sorry.
No, that's what I was gonna say, man. I think, if there is data to support that, I like to see it too, because I think it comes down to who you're dealing with, not how many, like you said, not numerically how many people you're dealing with. Because I've been around a bunch of losers, you know what I mean? And so I had to break away from all of those cats, man, just so I could get on the right track. So it didn't matter. The number didn't matter. What mattered was the quality of the people.
Yeah, I mean, I gave up a life of crime because I did something and I knew it hurt my mother. Once I saw the hurt in her eyes, I ended up joining the military. I was having fun being a. She loved me, and when I saw that tear in her eye, man, 2 weeks later, I was signing that paperwork to go to the Air Force because I need to leave the state. I need to leave this shit. I need to leave all my friends and just start over fresh. Because I don't want to hurt her, and that was purely out of love. And it bothers me when I see kids that don't come from loving households. Now, I would say if you don't come from a loving household, because everybody keep talking about, oh, I beat my kids, I beat this. Well, in reality, if you got to do it more than twice, it ain't working. They've grown accustomed to it. I would venture to say that, like I said, the fights I had with my sons wasn't because of their behavior. It was because, and you guys will understand this, because they grew up with a male, they start feeling themselves. They got their first little piece. They tried to put bass in their voice. And it's a bunch of skinny dudes in the house. My oldest son was 6'2", and he looked down on me and he put that bass in his voice. He was like, what you gonna do, little man? So I opened up a can of whoop ass on him. Because, oh, you think you big and bad now. So it wasn't even about him being my son. It was about who run this house now. You got a little height on you. Some little girl done made you a little wheelie wet. So now you think you a man? Oh, okay, let me show you what you got to go through. And the same thing with my other son. He thought he was grown. So I had to punch him and let him know. As Richard Pryor say, remember Richard Pryor say his dad had punched him and he punched him so hard he could feel it. He could feel his chest. I could feel his heart beating. That's how deep I punched him. So I didn't beat them for being bad. I beat them when they wanted to go through that manhood initiation. When they thought, oh, I'm bigger than him now, I can beat him. But as far as raising them, they understood life's lessons. I popped them one time. Daughters are easy. Daughters don't want to see their dads upset. But sons,
For the most part.
every now and then, sons, you got to lay hands on them sometimes, because there's a point when, like dogs, they think they're a little bit bigger than the top dog, and you got to let them know. Bro, I'm low to the ground, which means I hit timber. But and we got to start understanding this. It ain't about keep beating your kids. Beatings don't work. I'm sure we got beat, and I ask people who got beat and felt love while they were getting beat. Nobody. Nobody. So don't tell me you beat me because you love me, because now you think I'm stupid. You think I'm stupid. Because then that carries over into us thinking that beatings are a way of showing love, which promotes domestic violence. David can't beat his wife and be like, babe, I love you. Mo can't beat his wife and be like, babe, I love you. Because if either one of them try, I'm going to see the little thing on Facebook that says, this person is now deceased. And everybody going to have a little thing on there about how great a person they was. Boom.
And somebody talk about it.
Hitting is not a sign of love. And at some point, as a race, as a community, we got to get beyond that hitting. Now we're at a point where we can talk. If talking ain't working, go to Google, increase your knowledge, because maybe you're not talking the right way. What's up, Stanford? I'm sure that in David's thing, we have to learn to talk down sometimes. We can't talk as adults to kids. They don't understand what we're saying. So we got to talk down to them for them to understand. We can't keep being, oh, I'm going to use big words I know you don't understand because you're going to act right. Sometimes you got to understand your kids' language. You got to talk in their language. And that's what makes us better. Not beating them. Oh, I got beaten. Look how I turned out. Right, you got beaten. You think being beat is normal. So you turned out to be fucked up. You just don't want to admit it. But that's what it is. If you think beatings are okay, they're not. They're not.
I don't like doing it, but I will.
Right, but they make it's damn like they put in a request for it though. I ain't gonna get this unless you beat it into me. Okay, if that's how you feel.
Like you said, Darren, you only had to do it, twice. Well, my daughter, you were saying girls don't like to be physical and violent. I got 3 girls. 2 of them are, you look at them crazy. They, oh, my daddy. But that other last daughter of mine, that's my little thug. I'll tell you, each and every boy that she date, you might want to learn how to walk away. Because you think she crazy? You don't want to see daddy's side. Daddy kill you. I ain't threatening you, son, but I'll kill you. Over that, I'll rock a jumpsuit. So you might want to learn to walk away.
Daughters are the reason we got guns. It ain't for our sons. It's for our daughters. Daughters are the reason we got guns.
Yeah. Anyway.
Hold on. What else are we supposed to talk? Because we done talked about a couple of things. And Mo, what you got? Because Mo, you ain't got no kids. So Mo, you get to interview us right now.
Oh, you want me to interview y'all, man? Let me see here, man. Yeah, man. All right. So look at how did you finally? So first of all, I think most people understand that there's a difference of raising a boy and raising a girl. Why don't y'all talk a little bit about some of the vast differences? I know there's a lot of differences, but what about the drastic differences between raising a boy and raising a girl? How, your technique, how you do it, the lessons you teach. What's the differences? You can go first, DVP.
Darren, we had had a back and forth in text messages, and he asked a very poignant question. Do you think a woman can raise a boy to be a man? And my response was immediately, no. Just like a daddy can't teach his daughter how to be a woman. I don't know what a woman can do. That ain't my lane. But I was smart enough to put my daughter in position with my wife now to show her. Because my daughter and my wife, they are bosom buddies. She made me tear up one day. My daughter's like, thank you for being my mom. Because there are things I can come to you as my mom. And it's a blessing to have you in my life. Now, my mother and dad were divorced. My mama knew she couldn't raise 6 boys by herself. She needed some manly help. She had her friends from work. My football coaches were my dad's. My baseball coach. Matter of fact, when I joined the Army, Darren, I got stationed at where I grew up in Aberdeen, Maryland. And I went to the baseball field just to see if my baseball coach dad was still coaching. And there he stood. And I just walked up to him in my uniform and stood right next to him and watched the game. I spoke to him. He looked at me, said, "How you doing, soldier? Looking mighty fine." I said, "Thank you, sir," and kept watching the game. I said, "You don't know me?" He looked at me. He was like, "I just be Lord mercy, good Lord David." And that was 20 years later. He still remembered me. He left an impression on me, Coach Hart. He left an impression. My mother did wise by having. She knew she could take us so far, but she knew she couldn't get us across that finishing line. Mama didn't know nothing about no damn tools. Mama could teach us how to make a cake. Mama can't teach me how to fix no engine. That's what Mama knew. So as a parent, you got to understand your left and right limits. I can't do this, but I know she can.
And I think he made a lot of good points. But I believe it's more about raising a good human being. I think the reason that I want to say a lot of my credit that I had to give in hindsight was because my mother taught me how to deal with my emotions. And, you know, I heard people say, well, you can't teach a boy how to deal with emotions. Well, in theory, nobody can teach nobody how to deal with emotions. You just have to give them scenarios because we don't all act the same way. David talked about one of his sons who was really quiet, which ain't shit like what David is. So David can't really relate to this quiet kid. And quietness comes in boys and girls. And to me, you know, it's like I believe that a good parent can raise a good child. One of my friends, he braids his daughter's hair. He watched a YouTube video. In this 21st century, I think it's easy. Back in the day, probably not so much because nobody knew. We didn't know. Everybody's learning. But would you turn down the opportunity to increase our circle, which is what we have to do as humans anyway? David, his example, we benefited from the multiplicity of men that we came across. Not that our mom was with, but that we came across. When we do the village, all the children will benefit from the multiplicity of people that they come across, and they'll be guided toward the person that gives them the most influence. Parents can't dictate that. I think as a parent, you have to be open-minded enough to let your kids out and see who they gravitate to, get to know them, and see. So I do believe that a good parent can raise a boy or a girl because love is still the key.
But I can't teach a woman how to be a woman.
But can you teach a man? Can you teach a man how to be a man?
You can only do that all day.
No, you can tell him. See, for me, for instance, you know how I learned to be a gentleman? My mother. See, because she made me open doors. My father couldn't, if I'd grew up with a dad, he couldn't have made me open them doors. He could have told me about it, but I got to practice being a gentleman with my mother.
Very good point.
The conversations that we have, it's a whole lot easier for me and Dave to talk to our sons, I'm sure, about anything. I would talk to my sons about sex all day long. When my daughter want to talk about sex, I turn into a 3-year-old, and I'm looking for her mama. Because if she asked me about boys, I straight panicked. Panicked.
So DVP, hold on a second. Let me interrupt you because I wanna ask this question too, both of you guys. So let's take your scenario and turn it around. When the child becomes somewhere between 11 and 13, we all know something's gonna happen. Who you going to? Mom or dad? Let's start with the boy. Who's the boy going to? Mom or dad?
It depends on what's going on. If he needs a shoulder to cry on, he's going to mother. If he wants to learn something, he's coming to dad. Because David, look, you know, you can clearly tell David ain't the nurturing type. But David is a teacher. Most men are teachers.
I give hugs. Usually in the head a lot.
So, but something done, she called out to me. She never called her mother. But other things, she went to her mother. They know what they want a lot of times. So they go to the person, they're smart. They go to the person who can help them the best. And that's what they do. Ain't no need to go on to David when the daughters want to go looking for a dress. And if they want somebody to pay for it, they're going to go to David. But if they want to go look at dresses, they're gonna run to mommy and be like, "Mommy, I want to go." David gonna sit there. He gonna be holding his breath. He gonna be drinking his Sprite mixed with something special.
We ain't done yet.
So
we ain't done yet.
So I think they know how to. I think they know how to pick the appropriate person, whether it's a parent or a mentor, for the question that they have. Right? They know pick who give me the best at it. Yeah. When my daughter got her heart broke, she didn't say shit to me. Only thing she would have said to me is she wanted me to beat him up, but she went to her mother. But when my son wanted to learn how to be an electrician, I don't need to go into his hugging mother. He came to me and wanted to play with tools. So it's yeah. They pick for whatever the crisis is at the moment.
Yeah, now that's a good point.
Exactly how they go.
Yeah, as David was saying, sometimes, like I said, you pick somebody who ain't your immediate circle. As you pick up these bonus dads, bonus kids, it may not even be somebody who is it's like, damn, you be like, why you ain't ask me? You're like, oh, because they knew better. Oh, my bad. Let me learn some shit so I can get ass. But you want to give them that autonomy. You want to let them have them outlets where they can ask other people. Because sometimes, I'm sure David can co-sign this, sometimes we can tell our kids something. My son did this to me the other about a year ago. Somebody told him something in the military. And he said, he repeated what they told him. And I was like, you mean the same thing I told you was 16? He said, it just sounded different coming from somebody else. But I felt like I was talking to you. I'm like, what the fuck? See, that spin mean David get it. It's like,
Darren, I got two kids that are photographers, right? My son's a hell of a photographer. My daughter's a hell of a photographer. I taught them both the same things. My son took everything I was teaching him and like gospel. My daughter had to go find another teacher to tell her the exact same shit I was saying. It was like, oh, but they said do it like, ain't that what? You know what, baby? That's how you need to learn. That's how you need to learn. Go ahead then. But don't come ask borrow none of my gear.
Listen, fellas, don't take it personal. Because I'm gonna tell you this. This how it works. My wife had a tutoring center, and the kids would come to the tutoring center to get tutored. You know, we had kids there who had parents who were PhDs. We had one who was a rocket scientist, another parent who was in education, and one of them came in one time, and we were talking to them. It's like, hold on a second, you in education, and your child is coming to tutoring? Why is that the case? Y'all know what he said. Just the same reason what y'all was talking about. He said he won't listen to me. You know what I'm saying? So don't take it personal. Sometimes you need somebody that's at an arm's length to get the message across.
And that's just how some of them are. It sounds better. And like I say, when you give them the tools and the resources and the people, it makes it easier because at least then they're going to people who are credible. And that's why we have to do a better job of creating our own villages for our kids to be a part of. Because there are some things we can say the exact same way, but David has a different voice. They'll listen to it. It doesn't come across as fatherly or condescending sometimes, like we may talk unintentionally. So, but
that is true.
As a good parent, you have to give them those avenues of escape. I got a lady who her son called me all the time, and she asked me. She said, "My son always talks about you. Would you mind talking to him whenever he needs a male to talk to?" See, I mean, we ain't never dated. We met twice, and that's what it's about. There's no romantic inclination between the two of us. Hell, I couldn't if I saw her right now, I couldn't tell you I knew who she was, but she reached out to expand our village and grow our village. And again, to me, that's unisex. Man, y'all gonna get me in trouble. We ain't took damn break, and it's too late to take one now. Man, y'all gonna get me in trouble. All I'm gonna say is it's David's fault and it's Mo's fault. Because Mo's supposed to be the regulator. He's the one supposed to keep us straight, David. I made that at the beginning. Didn't I say? I said he was a responsible one. And just,
Don't co-sign that, David. Don't co-sign that, brother. Don't co-sign that, man. If this can't do anything, man, don't co-sign that.
Hey, remember I told you military people will stick together in a pinch.
All day.
I'm military too.
No, you're a military brat. We got dirty.
Oh, I'm Air Force, brother. I'm Air Force.
I ain't going for it. I don't remember seeing you in the photo album. But you got any more questions? Because I was supposed to take one more break, but I ain't gonna get it in. I ain't gonna get it in.
Yeah, man. So just dig down deep in your bag of tricks, man, and give these people who dealing with kids some good advice on how they can best help their children out. We talked about a few things, but maybe there's some wisdom, man, that y'all got in your bags that y'all use as your baseline to help your kids fly right.
Right.
Get your poker face, get your poker face game up. When you're dealing with kids, if you truly want to deal with them, you're gonna have to learn how to hide your emotions, because sometimes they're gonna say some shit to you and you're gonna be like, what in the fuck? But you can't do that, because then you're gonna scare them and you're gonna take away their ability to openly and honestly communicate with you. We start talking to my youngest daughter, now is 9. We start telling her about her body parts last year. And you don't want to wait till they're teenagers, because then the streets done took over. You want to talk about boys or something, or my son, girls. You want to have already opened that door. But when they do it, you can't be like our parents did. I don't want to hear shit, or don't come home pregnant, because then the communication door slams shut. You got to be open-minded, because whether we want them to or not, we all know that we didn't wait till we were married to have sex. We hope our kids do, but it's a false hope for most of us. So open the door for them so they don't end up being sick, so they don't end up making bad decisions. And sometimes when they come to you with it, you just don't want to have that conversation, because you turn into a teenager, because it's like, damn, I didn't want to have this conversation yet. But the truth is, you should have had it before now, so that you prepared yourself for it as well. So when they finally come to you to talk about sex at 12 or 13, that door has already been open. So it ain't creepy to them, and you ain't shocked by it all of a sudden, and all of a sudden you want to go to church and hold the Bible. You gotta have that door open if you want to communicate with your kids. And you can't be scared of everything they say. And you can't give them that face like, don't ask me about that shit. Because they want to talk to you. They want you to be their friend. And we always say parents can't be friends. Well, you can be. You just have to be friends within limits. Because you want them to be able to they need to be able to speak their language. You can't ask your 12 or 13-year-old son or daughter to come and talk to you and they have to say vagina and they have to say this. Not unless you've already groomed them to understand the body parts. Because they be like, these boys were talking about sex. What boys? I'm going to go there and whoop that. You just missed the whole boat. You need to start telling them about sex. But you should have had this conversation earlier. And like I said, what our parents do, if we don't talk about it, it won't come up. Did that work for anybody? Anybody. We have to listen to them and talk to them about their friends who will lead them astray. But you have to have a poker face. You can't be the judgmental parent and think your kids are going to be open and honest with you. That would be my biggest advice. Talk to them before the streets do. Catch them early. Catch them early. Watch TV together. Watch what they're watching and explain shit to them. Ask them what shit. Watch it anyway. What you got, Dave?
Well, see, with me and my kids, everybody has their own style. Everybody does things their own way. I tell my children and all my children's friends, I'm friendly, but I ain't y'all little motherfucking friends. Certain things, I let them to a limit. Y'all can say, sometimes they got to get that off their chest. I understand that. Go ahead. But when you start bouncing around like you got bigger balls than me in my house, then we got to stop. Like you said, bring it back down a little bit, baby. That ain't what we're about to do up in here. And once they get that concept and they realize that, yeah, my oldest boy, he experimented with drugs once. He was doing this and doing that. And Daddy was cool when he was just smoking a little weed. I was like, y'all could go out and back. I'll even light y'all a bonfire. Y'all can sit, you and your friends can sit out there, and his friends were like, your daddy's the bomb. He ain't gonna trip on us back here smoking weed. Nope, because y'all safe. I know where y'all at. I know what y'all doing. And when y'all wake up in the morning, I'm making breakfast. So when me and him kind of had words, and his friends all his friends got on him like, yo, you messing up. Your daddy is the one that understands us, at least trying to understand us. I'm friendly with them all, but being friends, y'all ain't in the same bill bracket as me. Guys that got 2 car notes, a house note, and some insurance payments, then we friends. Y'all understand where I'm coming from. Y'all spend y'all money out at Chuck E. Cheese, Chick-fil-A, shit like that. Until you're on my level, we can't be friends. We can be friendly. And with these girls we raising, like you say, D, we got to start having those conversations early. Unfortunately, my daughter, my middle daughter, she was living with her mother because her mother let her go overseas with me in the military, and her mother had a boyfriend and a son that was living with her in her house, and they both were touching my daughter. I didn't find out till I came back, and when I got in town, miraculously they were gone. Nobody could find them. They caught wind I was coming. I don't know, but after that day, when I got my daughter, she has never left my side. She tried. She moved to Texas one time, then she moved right back to Atlanta. Thought, Daddy, I need to be close because I know where my help is. She called me the other night, midnight. I saw the phone. I said, oh, shit. I just started putting on my clothes as soon as I answered. Where you at, baby? Who I got to come see? Do I need bail money? Do I need to bring my guns? That's all I need to know. Which way we going? Because like you said, Darren, dad's a killer with their baby girls. But that's the reason we got guns, because our daughters. My sons, they got hands. My boys they put their thing on it. Cool. I just stand back and let son bob and weave. Throw the jab. My daughter, I ain't gonna let her get like that, except that one, my little thuggerina. And as a mentor, my military life, I still have a lot of those soldiers. Like I said, I did 25 years in the military. A lot of them still call me up. Hey, Top, can I talk to you? My name is David. Yeah, you right, Top. But I got this going on. And that's a sign of respect from them to me. Even though they know I'm retired, been retired for almost, it's almost been 10 years. Next year will be 10 years I've been retired. And they still would call me. And one of them made Sergeant Major the other day. I was so proud. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. He's like, it's all because of you.
You can't lose that top title, bro. You know that.
I can't lose
Once you make top, it never goes away.
Can't lose it.
And something he said, his daughter, because kids will do this. They want to go to the parent with the least resistance until they reach a certain age. Then they want to come back to the responsible parent because they realize they're in the process of maturing. And they know when they know when they're getting too big for their britches. And most of them want. I told, why do kids join gangs? For discipline. At a base level, kids want to be disciplined. They want to. And some parents are so afraid of it, and that's how they lose their kids. Because kids want structure. They want structure. Sometimes they don't want to get a vote. They just want to be told what to do and be held to that standard so that they can become a great person, especially if they secretly admire you. They admired you. But you can't tell it from down here, but watch what they do. Because a lot of kids have gone to the free spirit parent and have come back. Because they didn't like the structure, because they got away with too much and they knew they was getting away with too much. But again, that comes from good. Yes, sir.
I got a question. Have you ever gotten one of those phone calls like, hey, Dad, thank you. You were right. And then they hung up on you?
Yeah.
I'm like, I call back like, can you just say it again? I'm ready to record now. Nope. You ain't getting it twice. You got it once. You were right. Bye.
Right. Can you make a post and say my dad was right? You can go on and put in there that one time if you want to. That's all you got. You ain't got to put.
I won't even co-sign.
My dad's right that one time. That's it. But but again, as we talked about earlier, that's one of those benefits of mentoring, because you see it come full circle. It may take a while because you won't see it in a teenager. You might not see it when they're 20, but you start seeing your ingredients as they get older and they become more mature. And what the commercials say, you look up one day and you're like, damn, did I just become my dad? Because you're doing the same shit that you was like, man, I'm doing the same shit. And it hits you. And that's when you had that little proud moment. You just smile. What you smiling at that? Nothing. You wouldn't understand.
I'm good.
Yeah, you wouldn't understand. And those are the true benefits of the whole process. Zay was talking about, I was at the grocery store. I was in the courthouse, and this dude walked up to me. This dude like 6'3", 220, 230, and he said, he just walked up to me and stood in my way, and I'm like, damn. And he's like, Mr. Bell, you remember me? I'm like, first of all, don't nobody call me Mr. Bell. But I was like, no. And he said, I'm Reggie. And I said, okay, hey, Reggie. And then he said, you don't remember me, do you? And I'm thinking, damn, was this an inmate? So I'm raising my shirt up because he too big for me to fight. He too close to me to stab because I don't want him to follow me. So I'm going to get these rounds off. Dixie. Y'all know how old Win Dixie is in and of itself. So we talking early 90s. He say, I was one of them little boys that used to buy their breakfast and used to come and get the carts and clean up the store and help people take their groceries home. I was like, Little Reggie? He's like, yeah, I'm Little Reggie. I said, you shitting me? But they would come to the store, him and two other boys. I paid for them to play football one year after I talked to their parents. But they would come up there, I'd buy them breakfast. They would stay with me during my whole shift, taking old ladies' bags to the grocery, to their cars and whatever, just doing stuff. I gave him a list of things they wanted. He said, yeah, I got married, I got 2 kids. He said, man, you're a hard man to find. He said, I've been looking for you. I'm like, damn, dude, we talking early 90s. It's 2020 now. He said, man, I've been looking for you for a long time. I just want to say I appreciate you for all of the lessons you taught me. He said, you the only dude who ever did anything for me. And you made me bring my mom up there before you paid for our football stuff. And it's little shit like that when you realize all the little things you did for no reason, you're just being helpful. I'm trying to keep these little boys out of trouble. And now look at what happened. He remembered me from 1991. I didn't have a 1991. He was like 4.5 feet tall, 90 pounds. He's 6'3" now. I would have never knew who he was. And those are the moments that make it all worth it. All the little hardships you had to go through, all the times you had to borrow money, lose sleep, or whatever. That's what makes it worth it when you are a mentor. Whether you carry mentor/father, mentor/friend, mentor/uncle, this is what it means in my book to be a man, because you are helping people who are not initially in your tribe, who are not in your circle. Because you gotta, when a kid comes to you and wants something from you, it's hard to say no. It don't matter whose kid they are. Remember I told y'all before, one of my little white neighbors, when I was out there putting in my fire pit, he would come over there and he never asked me money. He would just come and talk to me. He would ask me about doing stuff. He would tell me things that was good. Just came and talk. I never thought to ask him his name because he would just come and talk like we knew each other. And it's like, that's our responsibility in this world to keep moving. If we want to be leaders, you don't get to volunteer to be a leader. You're chosen. You are chosen. Somebody comes to you and you either accept the role or you don't. But it's kind of like being an alpha male. You can't tell everybody, oh, I'm an alpha. Oh, I'm a leader. Oh, I'm a this. No, the community makes you that. The community does. Your kids make you that. Because your kids could ignore you.
If you gotta say it, you already saying too much.
Yeah. But they know when your kids start asking you questions, they've chosen you. Because they can ask their friends, they can ask their friends' parents what they would say. The boy told him, you the cool dad. That's the kid that's gonna ask David questions about something. And David gotta be there. Which they do. David can't say, you're not my child, I can't tell you what to do. Yeah, you can. Because they asked you. There's a reason they didn't ask their parents. You can say, well, you need to ask your mom or dad. It's a reason they didn't ask you in the first place. And you can ask them, why didn't you ask your mom or dad? And find out a little bit more about them. Hey, you may find out that one of their parents is a junkie or something. That's why they don't ask. That's why they're at your house all the time. And then you know what? You find a little space for them from time to time. You find it. When we went to Disneyland, Disney World, wherever it was, I took 2 kids who weren't mine because they were 2 of my daughter's friends that always hung out with us. Their parents gave us some money. They said they could go. Took them with them. Hell, they paid for their hotel room, so what was I supposed to say? And we left, their parents said, hey, whatever he say do, y'all better do it. Because if he called me and tell me he had to pop y'all, y'all know what it's going to be when they get back home. But I didn't give permission to whoop y'all and leave y'all if y'all act up. Hey. But I wouldn't have took them if they were bad kids in the first place. So to me, that was just, I get it. But they weren't bad kids. We weren't going to have no issues. Else I would have never volunteered to let them go with us. But this is what you sign up for when you discount double check to say, I'm a man. You accept all that come with it. You accept helping strangers. You accept being a defender of women. You accept being a defender of the brotherhood. You accept having people, being around people that you don't always like, but that y'all got a common goal. That's it. Hey, Crystal, that must be your friend. She said, preach, Uncle David. You know Crystal Drummond?
Of course. That's one of my Army battles. Listen, okay. Her daughter, boy, her daughter is my bonus. That's another bonus daughter of mine. I love me some Millie. That's my girl.
Oh yeah, so I wanted to have him here, like I said, because this was something that was bothering my soul. Because, yeah, I know, it's cute, young boys. Oh, I know this. No, you know, hold it. But what are you doing to raise the standard? Because I'm sure in our heyday we ran across some wild women. Because wild women are everywhere, and I'm willing to bet that we also ran across some great women that just weren't great for us. There was no need to dog them because they're not for us. Sometimes the timing is wrong. Sometimes what's meant for you ain't ready for you. Sometimes what you're meant for, you ain't ready for. And it's a process. But you don't have to bring nobody down because something ain't your cup of tea. Just keep moving. You don't have to bring other brothers down because they do something different than you. I told a guy, oh, all men do this. I'm gonna just tell you something. All men don't even like women. So quit saying what all men do. There's nothing that all men do. And David, I'm sure David can co-sign on this. We know some gay men who are good men. Just because they like men, that don't change the fact that they're good men. They like something I don't like.
Listen,
Ain't no need for me to try to discredit them.
being in Atlanta has done changed my opinion on a lot of things. I ain't gonna lie, because I'm not saying I was homophobic, but being in Atlanta, I was homo. That's a good example, because when someone say a gay man to me, I had my perception. But being in Atlanta, I've seen some gay men that are they're men, but they just have affinity for other men. Hey, more power to you. You do your thug.
Yeah, some of them you go to war with because they got hands on them. They got hands.
Bro, they hard. Some of them are hard. I'm like, damn, you sure you gay? Okay, well, hey, well, all right. I ain't gonna tell you how to do you.
Hey, don't swing over this way, partner. You swinging too hard. But yeah, I mean that's just because they don't do what we do. There's no need to dog them or degrade them. They're just different. Yeah, me and David don't like the same thing. Which one of us is right? Which one of us is wrong? Neither. David do what work for him. D do what work for him. Mo do what work for him. Ain't neither one of us wrong. We pick what works best for us in our life.
Exactly.
I was supposed to show this video. I ain't gonna show it because I was having a good time. I'm gonna get in trouble after the show. I already made David miss some money, so now I'm gonna have to wait to borrow my $20 because I made him miss some money. So
I can call him. I'm calling him back in a minute.
Give us some parting words and tell the people how, tell them a little bit about your photographer, because he don't just do men. He does women, he does kids, he does family stuff. Tell them what you do. David Price, the photographer extraordinaire.
A little bit about my photography, right? When I retired from the military, my plans was just to find me at one of these little rich schools up here in the Atlanta suburbs and become the school photographer. That way I knew I'd have them from the cradle till they married, and I'd have me constant money. And one of the parents that I took pictures of their children, she happened to be a model in Atlanta. And she was like, David, I'm tired of not getting my pictures from these bum-ass photographers up here in Atlanta who call themselves a photographer. Can you please? I said, you know what, baby girl, I'm on my way. And the rest is proverbial history, because since then, I've been, I like you said, only thing I don't do pictures of is, I've never done pornography. I've done some, but pornography pretty much where I draw the limit. I don't do that. We're not, but anything else, I love pets. I love kids. So kids and pets are two of my specialities. Matter of fact, here them pictures we were looking for, Darren. Just found them. Can I share that in this group on your page?
Yeah, it ain't gonna come up on here, I don't think. Yeah, he was supposed to have one we could do for the show, but send it to me anyway.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna put
his
information.
To you. This is one of my favorites of you.
What's do you have a website?
My website is under renovation right now. I had to go back in and revamp some things, but you can find me on Instagram, Priceless Photos _ You can find me on Facebook, Priceless Photos or David Price. You usually see this happy guy with his bow tie. That's my persona, because if I'm not happy,
a big flashy bow tie, a flashy bow tie. It ain't just a bow tie; it's a flashy bow tie.
Listen, I like to stand out in the crowd. Put it like that.
And he does that.
And I just enjoy being real.
But we're gonna do it around two with you and the wife too. Since see, this is how this is how the family thing works. Because I'm waiting for Mo wife to walk by so I can get her. See, when Dave walked by, I pulled her in. I want Mo wife on the show, but I'm waiting for her to pass by so we can call her out so she can come on in and make herself be seen. Because I like how she do stuff. And now that I know who she is, but she won't never come back except for that one time Mo tried to get me in trouble. Because I want to do a show with women who are married to strong men so they can tell you some things. So I don't want the guys to tell you. I want y'all to hear from the women because there are two sides to everything. If you want to know what men do, ask women. If you want to know what women do, ask men. See, we will tell you. We have all told you that we have submitted to our wife. See, all these other dudes talking about they would never do it, they're all single. They all in bum-ass relationships. So they can't tell you how successful relationship works. But we can tell you this. And it didn't take no... It made the night just a little bit better. Things were a little bit softer. And we slept better. You figure out how that worked. Use your math. But, yeah, and there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. So, Mo, go on and give us some parting words, brother, since you got everybody in trouble by making us miss these commercial breaks.
Wasn't me, man. I ain't had nothing to do with it. I deny it. The plausible deniability all day. But no, man, I just want to tell you, man, listen. So we was just, you guys just talking about strong women. I think the definition of that has been skewed, and it's been skewed in a negative way. You know, when you talk about a strong woman, you know, I think I'm married to a strong woman. Does that mean that she pushes me around? Does that mean she put me in a headlock? Does that mean she can beat me up? No, it don't mean none of that. Does that mean she...
Them was trick questions.
Huh?
I said, them was trick questions. She gonna beat you around after the show now.
Yeah, I might not be back next. So yeah, put out an alert for me. But no, man, what it really is, man, the strong woman really is somebody who you can align with in a strong way. You know, your alignment is one of those alignments where people can't just come in and throwing salt, and all of a sudden you guys arguing. You know, that's the strong woman, and that's also the strong man. You know, ain't nobody coming in trying to mess with what y'all have. You know what I mean? And that's what I was looking for. That's what I luckily got. And I think, you know, most men would agree with that. You know, but it's not this definition that we have floating out here in the internet talking about I'm a strong woman because I pay the bills, because I run things. It's just about me and this and that. I don't think that's what we're looking for. So just recalibrate that, relook up that definition, and maybe you be headed the right direction.
Good answer. Good answer, brother.
You got any books coming out? Steph's need to write a book about, bro. Steph's need to write a book about.
Yeah, no, I don't have no new books, but I do got 2 existing books. So look at these books are free, man. I'm gonna be straight up and just tell y'all, man, I wrote these for Black people. And if you had a childhood like mine that was real dysfunctional, rife with violence, rife with poverty, you're gonna want to read my book, Perforated Fiber. You know, if you wanna free, I give the copies away for free just because I wrote it for psychological, so my psychology could get better. You know what I mean? Because I was ruined, man. You know, some of the experiences I went through. So I wrote it for a psychological, for my own psychological assessment, and so I could recover from that. So, but I think what it ended up doing is now when people read it, they say, "Oh man, I went through that. That's amazing, man. I'm glad I read this because you gave me some ideas on how I can deal with that." And I also wrote a book. You know what I'm saying? So if you want a copy of that, you could just reach out to me or Darren, and you host.
I ain't got a copy of it. What my copy?
I sent you 30 copies. What you talking about, man?
No, you sent me the police one. You didn't send me the perforated one thing. Oh no.
Oh, okay. I send you a copy, man. I'll send you a copy. But yeah, so if you want a copy, just reach out to me or Darren, and I'll send you a copy for free, man. It's on Amazon, but you can look it up. It's called Perforated Fiber. Perforated, PERFORATED FIBER. Look it up. It's up there. If it interests you, reach out. I'll send you a copy. And I also got another book this one I did send to Darren called The Good, the Bad, and the Blue. And it's a critical review on policing in America. If you want a copy of that one, do the same thing. Like I said, I wrote these books for just self-development, critical self-development, and then the other one was just for a critical review. You know, it's real discussion material and things we can do to improve our environment.
Did I mute myself? Can y'all hear me?
Oh, you good?
We can hear you.
I want to thank my guest, David Price, for taking time out of his day. He's going to be back now that I got his phone number. And y'all know Mo was here. And it's Mo job to keep everybody straight because y'all know that we're vets. We're dysfunctional. But I truly appreciate y'all. And I do want your wives on the show. So Mo, tell your wife I'm coming for her. Tell her I'm coming for her. So she might as well go on and get ready.
Hey man,
wife
listen.
already volunteered. What's up? What's
I'm
up?
just, you know, listen, man. You know, we all of us out here, I consider us strong men, and we are married to strong women, man. I would not advise coming from my wife, man. That's on you and her. You got to deal with her. She gonna handle you, though. She gonna handle you, man. She gonna handle you.
Me and David gonna say you gave us permission.
I'm with Darren.
So, hey, and maybe I'm gonna get Mel out the corner because Mel be having a lot to say, but she be doing her thing. She be chilling. But hey, I'm gonna say this before we go. If you ever want to truly get knowledge, sit with a group of strong Black women who are not afraid to speak their mind, who are not looking for the cosign of other people. You can learn a lot when they're sitting around and they're discussing things because they got no filter. They got no filter. But if you don't want to know the truth, go on and go to the bathroom. But if you just want to know about life, get with some strong Black women and just sit there. Because after the first 3 minutes, when they realize they ain't got to keep filtering for you, it's on and popping. And they answer questions. Just be ready. Just be ready. So, you know, like I said, this is Random Thoughts with DVP. I'm going to be back next week. Like I said, me and Dave going to get some more topics. We're going to do more. I still got some police stuff that we need to talk about because I see some things going on. But y'all know it is. I appreciate everybody who spent time with me. I appreciate my guests. I appreciate my producer. This is my JBN, where we are unapologetically Black, and we don't mind having uncomfortable conversations. The only way we can get better is to do better and let go of some of the old ways that we know ain't